our channel. I'm just...
Oh, gosh.
Just arranging myself.
I'm so excited for this food. I've done the usual, that just before mukbang. I found myself absolutely starving.
Why'd you do that?
I know, because, it's good, because we get a lot of food for it.
We do.
To be fair.
But then we just spend...
Then we don't actually talk, and we just kind of stuff our face.
Shoveling it in.
And we all know how important a healthy diet is towards the end of pregnancy, you know, feed the mum, feed the baby, all the nutrients, and that's why we went for a healthier option of a slim chickens today.
This is the place that does the mac and cheese that I was obsessed with last pregnancy, or is that...
I think it is, but I didn't see it on the menu.
Or was it...
I think it is this place. No, because it wasn't Shake Shack. They were the two, weren't they? Shake Shack and this place.
I'm just obsessed.
I'm obsessed with their sauces.
Yeah, their sauces are unreal. But like,
I could just eat a gallon of their sauces.
I feel like when I was pregnant last time, I was obsessed with slim chickens. We used to order it all the time, and now it is like such a big pregnancy craving as well. This time round, this is the last one, guys. This is the last mukbang before this baby comes out, so we need to have a catch up because this baby's going to be popping out any second now.
That's called mayo gravy.
What?
See what you think. It's kind of, I don't know.
Oh.
You know, according, this is shocking, isn't it? According to their thing. Guess how many calories is in that?
No, I don't want to know. Why did you look at that?
Because it says it right next to adding it. And they were all like kind of 80 to 100 calories-ish. And then that, 256.
Stop
how
it.
on earth is that?
Stop it.
256 calories. Look at it. It's tiny.
Right, let's crack on with the Q&A. So, we are 39. By the time, when this video goes up, we're literally 2 days 2 days till 40 weeks.
Crazy, isn't it?
No.
You full term now, aren't you?
Yeah.
You say 37 is full term, doesn't it?
Yeah, I got confused about that the other day. Sorry. I know, I'm just gonna...
That is crazy. So you never know, guys, at the end of this video, there might be a little bit of a pop-up screen that's like, Carys has had the baby.
Stop it.
We're happy because we're filming this on Monday, so we're filming this quite far in advance. So you never know. Later on this week, it could happen. And come Sunday, when this video goes live, there might be a little... Baby girl's joined us.
Oh my goodness. If you weren't under consultant care this time, would you have liked to try for another home birth? Anyone that doesn't know, last time we prepped for like full-on home birth. Why am I doing that with my full-on rock and roll home birth?
I thought we'd be one of those cool 2023 influencers. That's, you know, just like drug-free,
2022.
It was 2021 at the time, wasn't
2021?
it?
Oh my goodness. No, we were really excited. We wanted we loved the idea of a home birth. And it still is something that, you know, I would find so magical if it was able to happen. Would I have gone for it even if I wasn't consultant-led this time? Probably not, no. Actually, no. I know 100% I wouldn't have. I did think I'd be signed off as midwife-led, and yet I was still always planning to go into the hospital. Just because of what happened last time, I just found it really disheartening to kind of plan the whole home birth and then be kind of like whisked away before I even got a chance to use the birth pool.
I think we're both planners, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I think, not trying to be too pessimistic, but it's hard to plan a home birth and then not to have a home birth. You feel like the whole birth's not ruined, but it's just gone up in the air.
Yeah, we still loved the birth of Amber was so positive.
Yeah.
I leave that whole thing aside, like the kind of like, oh no, we didn't get to have a home birth, because all I cared about was having a positive birth, and we did have a really positive birth with Amber, even though we were in the hospital. But we put so much effort into planning the home birth, I think we just find it really devastating again if we did that and then it just happened again. And I just felt really safe. I think I was surprised how good I felt in hospital, how calm I felt, how safe I felt. Because I think, yeah, it's quite a scary place, isn't it? But I think once you're in the zone and you know you're having a baby, and it was just, I don't know, I found it really positive, so...
I think there's a lot of magic in a home birth, kind of being in your environment. But what you miss out on, obviously, is the whole taking your baby home from hospital, bringing them home for the first time, the first car journey that they scream their head off the entire way. I didn't actually, but you know, next one might do. And I feel like you missed that.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't know how good the midwives are that help with the home birth, but like you could just picture it. You've just given birth, beautiful baby girl. We're so excited, and then I'm just like looking at the lounge, going,
mess.
3 hours to tidy.
What a mess we've made.
That's not what I want to do right now. I don't want to be tidying a lounge.
Yeah, whereas when you come home...
You want to clean house?
Yeah.
Send the husband home first for a couple of hours, tidy the house.
There's pros and cons. If we had future kids, obviously we keep saying that we think we are done now with 2, but if we were to have future kids, would I consider it? I feel like in my head I would always dream of having a lovely home birth, but yeah, I'll see how this one goes.
Yeah.
Because the first one was so positive in hospital. But yeah.
it's difficult having taking extra home birth when you didn't have very long contractions.
Yeah.
Without the epidural, and so it's really difficult to know how good you are kind of working through the contractions.
No, I wasn't good.
Because, but it was early on, and you were in an ambulance, and it's tough to know.
They kept telling me I was very calm, which was so sweet of them. But in my head, I felt like I was gonna break down. But yeah, we'll see. I'm so excited, but also I'm really nervous. I know. I just had one. So crispy.
They used to not do the battered ones, but just
so nice.
Because that's what I used to love from here. Was
yeah.
But they don't do those anymore. They just do the battered ones. They clearly decided they were too low cal, the non-battered ones.
Are you breastfeeding bub number 2? I would love to breastfeed baby number 2. I think it's something that I would never take for granted, because I know so many people would love to breastfeed and can't, and I was always so grateful that I could breastfeed Amber. But having breastfed Amber for a year, it was such a massive commitment, that's the wrong word really, but like thing. And I think this time around I would potentially be maybe more relaxed if, I don't know, I feel like you can so easily lose your identity to breastfeeding, because I breastfed Amber basically every 2 hours for a year. Couldn't really go anywhere for more than 2 hours, you know, and that's the decision I made, and that's what I wanted to make. And who knows what, because I keep thinking different scenarios in my head, and then I just keep thinking, you're just not going to know until you have the baby in your arms. It might be a case of, again, you know, that's what I want to do for a year, or longer, and that's absolutely fine, or shorter, and that's absolutely fine. But in my head, I've got a bit more that I'll be maybe a bit more relaxed, maybe a bit more, because, you know, last time I was paranoid that I didn't want to kind of like try putting her on the bottle too much, because then she wouldn't go back on the boob, and I really wanted to breastfeed and stuff. This time I feel in my head that I'll be a bit more relaxed, just kind of like, well, if that happens, then, you know, we can combi feed, we can pump, we can do whatever. So,
they always say, don't they, that, I think you meant to establish breastfeeding for 6 weeks. I think they say to do that because actually a lot of the time the bottles flow quicker than breast milk.
Yeah.
And so babies then end up preferring being bottle fed to a certain extent.
Because they have to work harder.
Because they have to work harder to be breastfed. So if you do it too early and they're not used to breastfeeding, then sometimes they'd actually rather a bottle, and it's hard to then go back. But we just, like I said, we're definitely keen to pump more, and for me to share the responsibility a bit more, so that Carys can kind of go off for more than 2 hours for the first kind of 4 to 6 months. You never wanted to leave her.
No.
For like more than an hour to go and do something.
No.
And so, and breastfeeding just for us, was just so much easier. So you didn't need to prepare, you didn't need to pump, you didn't need to sterilise or anything.
So unorganised.
We're so unorganised. It just was so much easier for us.
Yeah.
And then when it got to 6 months onwards, and we wanted to do a bit more, it was then just
that's
like,
when
well,
it became a bit of a step back.
And then we couldn't get her onto the bottle. It was really hard, and it just
And then I couldn't figure out how to wean her off in the nights, and so I fed her for 3 times a night for a year when she didn't really need that, because the minute I stopped breastfeeding, she slept through the night. So who knows how early she would have slept through.
Like, it took getting rid of the breastfeeding in the day for her to it was crazy, wasn't it?
But again, I always say, looking back, I wasn't ready mentally or anything to stop feeding her. Maybe it's just the first child thing, I don't know. I couldn't stand the thought of her being hungry in the night or anything like that, so I never would have been done it any other way, kind of thing. Even though you think back and think, oh, if I'd have done that, she might have slept through or whatever, but I was happy doing that. I just wanted, I'm sure it will be different with our second, but also, who knows?
Who knows? Who cares about her?
She'll be fine.
We'll be like, oh, Amber, you give her the bottle. Oh no, it's on the floor. That's fine.
Oh no, we won't. That won't be us at all. Maybe a little bit more relaxed. Okay. Plans for Amber when in labour / giving birth. I feel like I think about this all the time. Like,
we do. We're always thinking of scenarios of where, what's going to happen.
Where we'll be, where's she going to go. It's like we've got both our parents really nearby, which is so good.
So like the idea is to just put out the signal. The bat signal will go up, basically.
Flags are out.
So yeah, we're just going to be sending out a WhatsApp to both of our parents. Hope that one of them is within easy distance of us, which they usually are. And she's just going to be going off to one of theirs for the day and night. And then we're hoping one of them will drop us into the hospital as well, because everyone knows literally all hospitals are an absolute nightmare to park at.
Yeah.
Otherwise I'll have to drop Carys off and then go and find somewhere to park, which would just take ages. So we're hoping to get a lift in. And then my only thing is Carys has been advised to stay in for 24 hours. And obviously, especially if that's like, so it all depends on what time you give birth, doesn't it? You know you are going to stay in for 24 hours because you want to. So then it just depends. I don't know whether to see Amber
in between.
No, whether
she'll just be like, where's mummy?
Because I'm not going to bring her back to the house, because if I bring her back to the house, I think she'll be really confused, and she would be like, where's mum? Because it's okay if you go away from the house, but then I think she'll get confused. So I don't know whether to go to our parents to see her and to spend the night there, or whether to, like, because we'll probably both then end up spending 2 nights away from her, which will be the longest we've ever spent. Because we've only ever done 1 night. So we're just going to take it as it comes, probably. We are.
We're just going to take it as it comes.
Yeah. She doesn't love me as much as Carys, so if I go back and see her, she'll be like, I'm just going to stay here, Dad. You go off. Bye-bye. That's
the thing. The beauty is that we know that she'll be happy there. Whether she wants to stay 1, 2, 3 or 4 nights. Between our parents and one of our parents, she is so happy there.
She's so happy with our parents.
She stays there the night now. She doesn't even blink an eyelid. She is so content there. And that is such a lovely feeling. But obviously, as a mother, as a parent, you can't help but think about them all the time and just worry about them. And I know I will. I'll probably worry about her in labour. I'll wonder what she's up to. I'll be worried about her after the babies come. I'll be thinking about her, wanting to know what she's up to. And I just want her to be happy at all times, obviously. But also I know that this is a one-off experience. And if something happens that I need to be, you know, in hospital for longer or whatever, we'll just have to make those decisions, won't we? Because we've said before, we really would prefer not to have her meet baby in hospital. We prefer to have her, we call the baby the name so much now, it's really hard not to say it all the time. But yeah, we'd prefer Amber to meet her at home, but you know, that might change. Nothing will go to plan probably, so we just need to be flexible, don't we?
Burger, we do, we're just going to take it as it comes.
Oh, burger, always bad idea for a mukbang.
Oh, is it?
Messy.
It is quite messy, but it's the best bit, so I'm going now.
What type of burger is that? I need to give that a go. Barbecue-y.
And onions on top. It's moist, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's chicken.
She's got a hiccup. When I eat so fast and like fizzy drinks, she's just like... Will you be doing a name reveal soon?
Ooh.
It will be soon. Hopefully she'll be born soon-ish.
We decided this time, didn't we, to leave the baby name reveal until after the baby, because I think we made that decision because we were a bit more and ahhing about the name. When I say that, like, that was like 2 months ago now. And we just kind of then stuck with that decision that we weren't going to say anything as well, because we were going to do the whole look at the baby, make sure we were sure, and even though we are now like 99.9 trillion% sure.
110.
99.9 trillion%.
We've got literally so much stuff with a name on. But yeah.
It's going to be awkward. So, it's going to be awkward when we change it.
It's going to be awkward when James changes the name.
So no. What we thought we'd do, we thought it'd be really nice that we're going to do a vid. So we said that we weren't going to upload for 2 weeks, but we actually agreed, which I forgot about.
Oh yeah!
Was that, depending on how we all feel, mainly Carys, we were going to, because I'm sure I'll get over the sleep.
Mainly the baby, probably.
Mainly the baby, probably,
If she's upset, we're all upset.
Yeah. We were thinking of just doing a very quick YouTube video that was just going to be like us saying hi, everything's fine, our baby's called. That's what we were going to do. So we were going to post that relatively quickly and then not upload for like 2 weeks.
Well, that's the good then idea.
Yeah.
We'll be so excited to show her and just like say the name. I'm really excited to just, the whole thing, just Amber meeting her, seeing them together, like, oh, it's just all so exciting.
Yeah.
Did having Amber affect your sex life? So, yeah, I feel like having any child is going to affect your sex life, like, to an extent, just because you're busier. You've got less time, you're tired.
They sleep in your room for like, most people, not all, but they sleep in your room for at least 5, 6, 7 hours. However long you decide.
You're not in the
mood.
Sometimes
they co-sleep, that's definitely difficult.
Yeah, really difficult.
Amber didn't.
No, but if, even just having them in your room. Yeah. You know, you might feel funny about your body afterwards. There are so many things that could affect your sex life when it comes to after having a baby.
Can you see me with head in the video? Yeah, I think you could just see a bop in there. Oh. Is there any chicken going spare, guys? Is there any chicken going?
I bet this smells delicious to you, Meals.
Oh, she's gone on her bed.
But yeah, it definitely does, and I think it'll be interesting throwing another baby into the mix. Because in my head, I'm just like, where are we going to find time to do that?
Hopefully not at all. But we'll see how it goes, won't we?
I think you've set yourself up good there, if that's what you're hoping for. Because I don't see when we're going to have time. I mean, they nap a lot.
They do nap a lot.
When they're newborns,
but... We're still going to have 3 days of childcare for Amber.
Yeah, so she's still going to be with her parents when the baby's going to be napping a lot. But, you know, you say you're going to do loads of things when the baby naps, but actually you're just exhausted, you're doing laundry, you don't feel like doing it, whatever. I'm sure, you know, we'll update you guys on that in a Q&A once baby girl's here. You guys know I love talking about the sex questions.
We'll give you the stats in the future.
Yeah, like it does definitely affect your sex life, but also I'm happy for it to do that. Like I think I'm always happy for sex life within our relationship anyway. I know every single couple's different and whatever, to change as like different things happen in life. I think it's quite like exciting.
It has to go on the back burner, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I find it quite exciting that like this isn't our time to be the sexy minxes that we want to be. Like if we want to be it and we feel like doing that, that's great, and that's fine. That'll happen once in a blue moon when we're feeling it, and that's great. But this isn't our, you know, this isn't. If you can make it work, that's great. But for us, this isn't the time that we want to be sexy minxes. This is our family time. This is our we're bringing our babies into the world, and this is our new things, and blah 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 blah.
And let's try not to get. It's the same with anything, isn't it? Like if it's important to you and you want to do it, you need to make time for it.
Absolutely.
If at this moment in time you're quite chilled out, we never believe that you should feel forced to do it because you think you should need to do it, rather than because you actually want to do it.
Because that's what I've been like in the past so much, wasn't it? You've always had such a good headspace with it. Like you're just like, if we fancy doing it, we'll do it, and it'll be really lovely. But like, why force it?
It'd be like a 6 out of 10.
When it's like
sometimes it's a 7. That's great.
But I just spend time just complaining about the fact that we're too tired to want to do it, and it's just like, why are we wasting time doing that? Like, just do it when we want to do it, and like you say, if it's important to you, you make time, you communicate with your partner, and like that's all great. But I get excited for like, we got time in the future for that, Ed. We got time for sexy mink stuff when we haven't got kids running around or a baby hanging off your boob. Like that's just how I think about it anyway. I'm excited for in the future, you know, it'll fill our time once the kids have moved out. We'll have nothing else to do.
And they're both up for childcare 3 days a week.
That's going to be a great time.
Finish all our work in record time.
That's what we'll do with our days. Well, yeah, it has to be at midday because James doesn't like morning sex and he doesn't like sex before bed. I tell you guys this every time. It leaves me a very restricted schedule.
They're both just not nice, okay? Too hyper before bed. What they do show in the movies is just fake. This whole, oh, lovely, we had sex. It just doesn't happen.
Relax.
Okay? It just doesn't happen. And then in the morning, oh, no one wants that, do they? You're like, your mouth's dry.
It's relaxing for me.
Waking up. Yeah, you just lie there.
Because I just lie there. Like a blanket. Okay, I'll try to step my game up when the kids have moved out. Would you like more children? So, we've been saying, haven't we?
Yeah, we've had a couple of comments on this because I remember like when we started on YouTube and stuff, we wanted like 5, I think.
I think I wanted about 8.
I don't know what's wrong with us really. Why would we want 5?
I don't think you ever did.
No.
I think you always wanted 2, didn't you?
I went along with it for you.
Yeah, you always wanted less than me, but I think we always thought we were going to have a bigger family.
Yeah. So what's changed? I think it's just that we don't actually love Amber as much as we thought we would. And because of that, we just thought why would we want more of these things? You know, when we accidentally got pregnant this time, we thought we'd better fake it. And be like, yeah, of course we wanted a second. Okay. So, no, I'm joking. That's all a complete joke. Please don't take that seriously. I don't know what's serious. I think it's just that we love Amber so much. We've always said, and I think everyone views their family differently, but I was one of 2, Carys was one of 4, we both had like amazing upbringings, but we just want the family dynamic where like we're in our kids' faces all the time. Basically, isn't it? Yeah. We want them like, you know, under our thumbs.
And they're going to hate it.
They're going to hate us. They're going to hate us. They're going to be like, oh, Dad, I'm playing a friendly netball match on Saturday morning.
You don't need to
come. Please do not come. And I'll be like, I'm there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there with my flask of coffee. And we're going to be watching that netball match. And if everyone else is free, we're all going to be there. We're all going to be there.
Yeah, that's
that's kind of what I wanted as a family. I never wanted us both to have to miss one event because other kids were doing things or something.
Yeah.
And I think once you kind of get to 4 or 5 or 6,
it's just harder.
I think it's harder, isn't it? It's harder to 100% commit to everything your kids... And you don't need to. That's the thing, as parents, you don't need to. Like, you're meant to send your kids off in the world to go and live their own life. I just don't want to do that.
I know.
So we shall be there.
Yeah, I think I've got that similar vibe to you. And like you say, there's... Like, I was one of 4, and I don't think back and ever think, like, my parents missed my stuff, or... Because there are so many benefits of having a massive family. All I think when I think back is how many games we used to play, all 4 of us running around playing Spinny in the dark. There was always someone to play with. There was always something, you know, to do. There was always different people had different personalities. And I loved that. And I think that's what, when I was kind of, before I'd had Amber, that's why I was like, I want a big family, blah, blah, blah. I think back to my childhood and think that. So even though now I've got this view that I don't personally feel like I could do that for more kids, I know that they wouldn't feel like that as kids because I didn't when I was 1 of 4. Do you get me? So it's a really weird one, because I know that if we do go on to have 3, 4, however many kids, I can reason with myself and know that my childhood wasn't like those thoughts that I'm having now about you not being able to kind of divide my time between the multiple kids. So I know that if we go on to have more, we will, you know, it will be great and it'll be amazing. But right now I'm just like, I also, for me, a big one is I feel like I just don't know where I'd get the time from. I just don't know where I'd get the time from, because I love what we do online, and I think I love kind of creating videos and doing these sit downs and things like that. And I think if we did have 4 kids, I genuinely don't know.
Well, obviously once they're all in school, it's much easier.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it? Because
I guess
then
I
you
keep
kind of got
thinking
5
of them
days
all.
a week, at least 6 hours a day.
Yeah, but it's always going to be hard when you go. The more kids you have, the more you have to become supersonic efficient with everything you do.
Yeah.
You know, and I just.
And they do help each other, don't they? Like you how your elder sister, because you're 3rd.
Yeah.
Your elder sister would help you with.
Yeah.
She was almost like, you know.
Absolutely.
A bit of a parent at times. So it is that. It's a different family dynamic. It's
I
completely
know.
different, and that's the thing. We're not writing off having more kids.
No.
We're really not. And everyone's like, in a nice, like, we don't get offended when people are like, oh, you'll want a 3rd in the future. Like, we don't get offended by that, because I think none of our friends are having kids at the moment. Like friends that we've made, old friends that we've made new friends since having kids, which is we have friends, guys, okay, and like they're probably not going to have kids for another 5 or 6 years, and so everyone's saying to us, oh, okay, in 5 or 6 years I think you will have another 1 or 2.
When?
Because that's when you'll see your friends having babies and you'll miss it, and you'll.
Which I think could be true. We don't know.
We don't know, but
it'll go one or the other. It'll go one way.
Yeah. Or we'll be sitting there drinking our red wine, laughing at these people running after their toddlers, going, haha, we've done all this. Our kids are in primary school.
Or wanting to help. I'd be probably really excited to look after their babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, having that knowledge, because like.
Having that knowledge. We'd be losing 9 people. Well, in our day,
it was all about swaddling.
Was this.
It was all about the swaddle. Have you tried one of these? I brought over a little swaddle for you to try.
Let me get a towel now and I'll show you how to do it, okay? That's it, you just cocoon the baby. I know it looks comfy, but it's comfy, I promise you. She loves it, look at it, she loves it.
That's so going to be us, literally.
We need to try so desperately hard
not to be like that. I know, I'm
to be the only friend with kids and just like...
But I'm so excited for our friends to have kids, because I'll probably just want to look after them, babysit them, whatever. At the same time, will I get really broody when they're pregnant? Probably. And so, you know, it wouldn't shock me if I was like, we could have a 3rd. We'll just have to wait and see. But right now, we're quite, like, convinced.
The other reason I wanted to, and I want to, and not, you know, within relatively shortest succession, you know, within 2 years, is that now I can't help but look to the future, and I'm excited for that kind of next stage of life. And it is 100% true that when you get towards the end of pregnancy, and when you have a new baby, like, life does pause a bit, and you question everything. So, like, you can't travel as easily, you can't go away, you can't go out with your friends as easily. Like, it kind of stops you doing a lot of things, and I'm excited to kind of, you know, like, when our 2 kids, you know, 8 and 6, maybe, if we're lucky enough to go to Disneyland Paris. Whereas then if you also had like a 3-year-old, it's suddenly harder, and you've then got kids at different stages, if you know what I mean. I get you. Me and my brother are only 2.5 years apart, and there was only 2 of us. And yet when we went to Disneyland Florida, for the only time our parents took us to that sounds really snobby and unappreciative. Went to Disneyland Florida once. I know some people go like yearly, lucky so.
I would love to.
I was literally a centimetre too short to ride the majority of the rides. I was absolutely gutted.
He doesn't stop talking about it.
I just don't stop talking about it. And my parents were like, we promise we'll come back again in the future.
That's the thing.
We didn't.
But that's the thing.
So if we ever go, to Disneyland.
Yeah, you're going to get the measurements.
Or Universal. I'm going to measure the girls.
You would.
Before we go, to make sure they can both go on all the rides. Otherwise, we're delaying it a year.
Because that's what I'm going to. That's what I was going to say. Like, we can chat all this chat of, oh yeah, we want to because we can do all the things at the same. And then you end up going. You were one of two, and you can't ride the rides anyway. So you can't plan these things. Like you'll say, oh, we'll have two, so we can do things at the same time, and then it'll work out that every single thing you try and do, only the older one's old enough or tall enough or whatever. So,
and also,
or they don't even like doing the same things.
Things usually come in packs of 2 or 4. That's all I'm saying.
He's a very practical
I'm putting
guy.
it out there, guys. They come in packs of 2 and 4, okay? If we're a family of 5, someone's not eating.
Are you worried about having 2 kids under 2? So, we're only going to have 2 kids under 2 for a month. Yeah.
Depends on when she comes, yeah.
Yeah. Depends on when she comes, but around a month. I feel like I'm done now. Can I have a... Wait, does it?
Oh, okay. So...
What does it?
Slim Chickens had an offer on, because this is going to seem obsessive. Obsessive? Excessive? Excessive. It's going to seem excessive. They had 4 shakes for £10, or the shakes each were £6.
Oh.
So if I just wanted to get a shake each, that was £12. So I was like, well, obviously I'm going to get 4 shakes.
Yeah.
So I got 1 chocolate.
They're so nice.
1 Oreo.
Oh, Buxton Hicks.
Oh, are you okay?
Which one's which? Oreo's that?
Chocolate. No, just hold them for now, because I've got an idea. I've got a plan, okay? And then I also got 1 crunchy and 1 popcorn.
Oh!
I feel like we should blend them.
Really?
Well, when you go to Five
Well,
Guys,
let's try them.
and you have like chocolate and Oreo.
Yeah.
I think we should get a glass and we should go half and half. Half chocolate, half Oreo.
What if one doesn't taste nice? Let's just try them.
Okay.
Very nice Oreo. I love Oreo. Taste test. Crunchy. Oh, got a bit of crunch. Oh, very sweet. Too sweet.
That's quite nice.
Popcorn.
Oh, crunchy is sweet.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm not feeling crunchy. It's too sweet.
So should we mix these 3?
All together?
Yeah, in a glass. I get 2 glasses, mix all 3.
Yeah, go on then.
Should we get a go?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So you've just mixed them all 3.
Yeah, but like I put more Oreo in yours than others because I know Oreo's your favourite.
No!
That's good, isn't it?
That's incredible. To be honest, I think whenever you go from 1 to 2, it's going to be really difficult. Everyone tells us that it's really difficult, just like it is going from having 0 to having 1 is really difficult. It's all going to be difficult in different ways.
That's what your mum said who had 4, as she said. That 1 to 2 was extremely hard, and then it just all melds together then.
The rest are fine.
It's just all kind of like, once you have 2, it's chaos.
Yeah.
And once you have chaos, well, it's chaos.
You just add
you
into the
can't
chaos.
Really...
Yeah.
That's it. You're done.
Because I do feel like life at the moment can still be quite structured with just 1.
Yeah. Especially when,
I think we're just going to have to let go of that a bit. Embrace the chaos a little bit. I think we're going to find it really difficult, just like we found parts of going from 0 to 1 really difficult. But I also think it's going to be the best thing ever. And
I think the thing is now is that we're living like a family life already. Like we've already got Amber. You already have that dynamic
of soft play, swimming.
So, yeah, exactly. And so there's not now. Yeah. And when we had Amber, it was like still kind of like lockdown, and so we weren't really doing much. We were kind of doing our content, but that was it really. It was all just a bit. It was a funny period, wasn't it, where we weren't able to. We did just chill out with a newborn.
We're gonna have to see what it's gonna be like this time, because you're not just gonna lie at home with your newborn, because your toddler's gonna want to go out and do things, and so the newborn's gonna have to be much more on the go with us. Yeah. We like doing our courses. We did our sleep courses. We did our baby courses, and a lot of that was kind of around schedules, and not like that you're scheduling strictly or anything, but it was kind of. I think this time we're going to have to adapt things a lot more to kind of being on the go and having naps in the car and here and there and everywhere, and I think we're excited to do that. But I think whenever we went from 1 to 2, it was going to be like that. You'll just have so many more things whizzing through your mind. But yeah, it's going to be a journey. I'm sure you guys will know the whole journey because you'll be here with us. I won't be able to stop talking and telling you about it all. How are you?
Wow.
What's going through your mind?
Big one, aren't we?
The most at the moment. I thought we could both answer that. No, there's another one after that.
Shall I go first?
How are you, darling?
I'm very good, thank you.
What's on your mind the most at the moment? Like day to day, what would you say you kind of daydream about or think about the most?
It's this kind of mixed mind. We've got a couple of minor pieces of work that we want to get signed off before baby comes. But at the same time, I just want baby to come.
I know.
And then at the same time, I'm anxious for baby coming because I'm not yet ready to lose my sleep. And then at the same time,
it's true.
I'm actually getting back into the gym and I'm doing quite a lot of exercise over the last month, and I'm anxious about losing that. So I'm anxious about what we're going to lose, while at the same time so excited to meet baby girl. And obviously the excitement overrides what you're going to lose, but then you still feel sad that you're losing these kind of things. Sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep.
And it's sleep, and I think gym, that's a really good one for you, because you've been really enjoying getting back into that.
Yeah.
And, like, you just know that things are going to be...
At least, even if it's only for 2 or 3 weeks, you may like hardly get any exercise in. I might struggle with that. Because even though I've never done the healthy eating side of health and fitness, I've always I love kind of... I've always been into the exercise.
Yeah, we've always both loved exercise.
Such a happy...
Yeah, for our mental health, for everything like that. And like, I can't wait to get back to it too, and I need to not think about rushing it either, because realistically I'm not going to be able to for weeks on end after recovering from birth, and it shouldn't be a priority, and it doesn't need to be a priority. And I think it's always good to try and keep, well, obviously it can, it's hard to say, it doesn't need to be a priority when obviously it's such a mental thing, like exercising. And I think even being able to go out on a walk is going to be, you know, good enough for our mental health at a time where you've got so much else going on. So yeah, I feel like similar things are going through my mind, really. Just, I feel like I think a lot about life with her here. I'm actually feeling less impatient about, like, when am I going into labour? Like, am I in labour? I feel like James literally, like, I wake up and he's in my face like, so are you in labour yet? And I'm like...
I'll wake you up from your lying and I'll be like, any contractions? Are we going into the hospital?
Literally. Like, 5 times yesterday, this morning
no pressure,
I said...
but any time now would be great, Carys.
I literally said, what's wrong with you? Why are you so desperate to me to go into labour? But you're just excited, and that's so nice. You're so sweet. But yeah, he was literally like, so any more signs of labour? I was like, babes, I would tell you if there was anything exciting whatsoever, and there's not been yet. But what was I saying? I'm sorry, just taking the mick out of you. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, so I'm thinking less about, like, I feel like I will get there soon. I will get impatient, like days towards the due date. I'll literally be like, come on. But what goes through my head all the time, I can't stop thinking about it, is scenarios that we'll be having as a family, and I straight away think, what's the baby going to be doing when we're doing this? What's the baby going to be doing? Oh, right, she'll probably be lying there, or, oh, we could like get the bouncer and she could go in there, or, oh yeah, okay, so when I'm breastfeeding the baby, what's going to be the best way for Amber to, like, is she going to want to cuddle me, or like, would it be best if I like put on the TV every time I breastfeed? And that's what I was thinking earlier, and then I thought, no, that's an awful idea. What a horrendous parenting idea that would be. I've already done that for when I like change a nappy. I like always say, like, because I just find changing a nappy so difficult when I'm this pregnant. I started this thing of being like, let's put Paddington on and then we can change a nappy, and it's just like, because she's so kind of chilled then, just watching Paddington, and I can just struggle in pain whilst changing a nappy.
I can change nappies, guys, I promise.
Oh, he does, 100%, but this girl, she loves a nappy change. She doesn't love a nappy change, but she needs a nappy change a lot. I think about these things all the time, and I feel like I just bring up scenarios, and I'm sure it's normal because you can't help but think about, I'm thinking about Amber, and I'm thinking about the new baby, and I want what's best for them both. I just think, like, how am I possibly going to do some things? Like, if I'm like out on a walk and I need to breastfeed the baby, or like even just feed the baby with a bottle, and Amber is like running around like crazy toddlers do.
When would you be out on a walk with you and...
I don't know.
When do you ever go out walking? When did you ever take Amber out on
No,
run?
we might go on a walk, and then you might be like, well, I'll just whiz Mila around the field, and I'll be like, yeah, no problem, I'll be fine with them for 5 minutes, and then it'll just be like...
And in the 5 minutes, chaos.
I'm not fine. I am not fine!
It's a confidence thing. Right now, you're just... You don't have that confidence because you've never done it.
How do you feed a baby when your toddler's running off? Wait! Wait for mummy! Flying about. They would literally fly about when I was just sat down.
Maybe that letting Amber watch Paddington every time you breastfeed's the way to go.
I'm thinking
she'll be having about 8 hours of Paddington a day.
She'll be running away in the park. Paddington's on! Come back!
So we'll all start singing the theme tune.
Paddington!
Paddington!
I can literally vision that now.
Pied Piper. Follow the phone! Follow the phone!
So I literally think about things like that all the time. And I just think I'll be like that until she arrives and until I see things.
But also,
yes, I know it will. I won't think about it when she's here.
This is a bad parenting thing to say, but I do think like there will just be more times when new baby or Amber will just have to cry or be upset for slightly longer.
I know that.
Isn't it? Like,
I know.
If you're breastfeeding baby and Amber runs off, well, obviously you're going to have to chase Amber, and so you're going to have to take baby off, which means that she might cry. But like, it's just what's going to have to happen for a minute or two when you're trying to deal with Amber, and then
you're right.
And it's the same with me if I was bottle feeding. Like, you just have to stop one thing
and do the other thing. I know, and that's the thing.
It's not like you're going to leave the baby in the room and run into the other room. Do you know what I mean? She's always going to be with you. She always has that comfort.
Yeah.
Even though she's not breastfeeding straight away. And
it's like, it's good for Amber to learn that. Like, literally every time she says, Mum, Dad, we go, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amber? We'll be on a car journey for like 5 minutes and she'll go, Mum, Dad, Mum. And every time I'll go, yeah. Amber, you okay? Yeah. You okay? What's wrong? Use your words. What do you want? Amber, you okay? She don't need that. She doesn't even want to call her. She's just like doing it because she wants to. So it's going to be positive for her as well to have, you know, learn patience and learn sharing. Yeah. So I just think it's going to be exciting, but it's going to be different.
Well done.
No, don't try and skip my last question.
Watching today, guys.
How different is down there after birth?
I'm working fine, thank you guys. So, that's it from this video.
I'm working fine, thank you. That's disgusting. I don't know why that's disgusting at all. That's not that disgusting. It's like a machine.
My feet do have a bit of dead skin on them though.
Oh!
Is that what they meant by down there?
He'll literally do anything to avoid these type of questions, guys.
My knee's a bit sore as well. I don't know why. It's clicking quite a lot. It's clicking
ignore. I'm mixed reviews. Mixed reviews?
2.5 out of 5?
I'm mixed emotions about whether I want to look down there. I know it's not really the question, but I just thought I'd talk to you about it.
Like one of those mirrors that you do to look around the corner?
Yeah. Or just, you know. Yeah. Last time I couldn't bring. I'm really like. That's not like me, is it?
It's not like you.
I feel like usually I'd be straight down there, like, ha! Look at this! Like, oh my god, it looks like it's been.
But you touched her head when she was coming out.
Oh yeah, no, I touched her head when she was coming out. It was the afterwards when I was in the shower, and I just. The only way I can explain it, my friends literally crack up. I just felt like everything had been pumped up by a balloon. Pumped up by a pump. Everything was inflated, and I thought there's no way I'm looking down there. It terrified me even just like vibing what was going on down there. And I couldn't bring myself to look, but like my personality, that didn't suit me. I wanted to look. So I think this time, like,
maybe you should have taken a couple of photos to like look at later.
I just couldn't bear the thought of that.
Maybe, rather than photos, because obviously you take photos, they'll be on your phone and they'll you accidentally look at them.
I don't want them on the cloud.
Kind of Polaroid shots. Is that what it's Polaroid?
Polaroid!
And then like, just don't, like, shake it, but don't look, and then just put it in a secret compartment in your bag. And then like, in 6 years' time, you'll completely forgot about it, and you'll be cleaning out your bag, and you'll go, what on earth is that? What is that? And then you'll just burn the bag. You'll just burn the entire bag. I'll be like, no, not using that anymore. Some alien has put photos in my bag.
I put them in the baby's keepsake.
This was after Amber, and this one was after baby girl number 2.
We'll be flicking through. Oh, that's her first outfit, and that's it. Whoa! Oh my god, I feel sick. I'm laughing.
But no, nothing has changed down there. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
But you, just to reiterate, like it does, like Carys.
Yeah. So
it's
sorry.
Fine. We're like, we were being dramatic on purpose.
No, we are. Oh no, like, as in, if I look down there straight after giving birth, obviously it's going to look crazy because you've just given birth. Like, it's meant to be, like, crazy down there after you've given birth. But the question wasn't really in reference to that. I just thought I'd talk to you guys about that. But it was more like long term. And I think, do you know what? It's actually a bit 50-50 with something like that. I think, depending on how your birth's gone and what has gone on, there will be times where things are changed forever down there. Even though pelvic floor isn't like technically like down there, it is obviously down there, but it's more.
It's not visual.
It's not. Yeah, it's not visual, or like it's not in the same place that like you have sex if you're on about down there with having sex, whatever. My pelvic floor was definitely changed and I was never able to regain it back to its full potential. And who knows how much that's going to change this time.
And you worked hard on it.
And I worked really freaking hard on it. But the actual down there with like in relation to sex or like how it looks, I don't notice any difference. And I did have a tear, like I had an internal tear, yeah, like how it feels. I had an internal tear, and like afterwards I did.
Still amazing, apparently.
Yeah. Okay, you're gonna regret that. I want to cut it out.
Oh, I know. I feel physically sick. I've only just done it, and I feel queasy at the thought of it.
The sun's out now.
Oh, it's just gone back to my belly.
And mine. Wow. I just got to change the battery. Now the sun's up. So yeah, long story short, it's different for everyone. Because like obviously birth is so different for every single person, and I think I don't want to say, because like I'm inclined to be like,
oh, don't worry,
it's a myth. Yeah, like it doesn't change, because before having my first baby, I did have those thoughts of like, right, this is it now, you better make the most of it, because this is, you're never going to want to go down there again or whatever. Those are the sorts of things that go through your mind, and that's absolutely natural. So I'm always inclined to be like, it's a myth, you know, like everything goes back to normal, when actually for some people that probably isn't the case, and it just depends on how your birth has been. But even me saying, oh yeah, everything goes back to normal, you've still got things like stretch marks, things like pelvic floor problems. Everybody's got different types of things. Not everybody's going to have had the same things happen.
Excess skin sometimes.
Yeah, excess skin or skin tags, things like loads of stuff like that. Or you can have problems elsewhere that isn't even related to where the baby's come out. I think it is good to be reminded of that sometimes, because you can just literally convince yourself that it's all doom and gloom, you know, it's not even worth it, this and that. And that's what makes me want to be like, you know, it's absolutely not as scary as you think it is. But then I never want to take away from anyone's experience where that has been the case, and that has kind of been life-changing for them and been really upsetting.
It's hard to be
There's so many
positive person and spirit without
taking away people's pain,
taking away other people's bad experiences.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's never what you want to do. So that's it for this Q&A, guys. We hope that you enjoyed.
Last one before baby comes.
Could be our last video. Who knows? Up to this point, we just don't know, do we? But if not, we will see you next Sunday.
Yes.
Or maybe that will be our last video before baby comes. Who knows?
It better be.
Could be another few though, couldn't it?
Oh no, don't say that. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks guys, have a good one.
Love you lots. Bye.
Bye.